show, we welcome the Mersey Beatles back to Danbury for a return engagement. They sold it out last time they were here at the Palace, Danbury, and they're coming back in next Friday night. And from the Mersey Beatles, we welcome Stephen Howard to the show. Stephen plays Paul McCartney in the band. How are you, sir?
Yeah, okay, Tim. Good to be with you, mate, yeah.
Good to be with you as well. So the Mersey Beatles are the only Beatles tribute band where all the members are from Liverpool, correct?
Yeah, we have four lads from Liverpool. Yeah, that's us.
Is there extra scrutiny if you're playing for a hometown crowd, or are you considered hometown guys so you get a little break? Or are people standing there with their arms crossed going, all right, show me what you got?
Yeah, there's a little bit of that went on in the very early days where people were suspicious of us, playing Beatles songs, and we had to be really good, you know what I mean? So we got good quick because of that. And now, in Liverpool now we're accepted, and we were the Cavern Club resident band for 10 years, and we played various clubs and pubs the Beatles had played in their heyday. And, so we won them over quite quickly because we're genuine, and that comes across on stage. Yeah.
I wanted to ask you about that. What was it like playing at the Cavern Club?
It was awesome, it was a real honor for us to be asked to play it. We were asked to play it. We were asked to play it for... a special event one time when Paul McCartney played in Liverpool, and after we played that event,
oh no kidding,
they asked us to become resident band. So they were trying to mop up the post-show audience, and we were the hook. And then they said to us, that was great. Can you become the resident band? And we said yes, please.
Oh, that is so awesome. Now, if I read somewhere right, correct me if I'm wrong, but you guys have actually now played the Cavern Club more times than the Beatles actually did, correct?
That is correct, yes. The Beatles did it in a shorter space of time. I think they played 290 odd times. And when we passed that landmark, we were about 4 or 5 years into our residency. But, we've now passed the 600 mark, and we go back once a year or twice a year just to play at the old, the old stomping ground, so to speak.
That's so awesome.
Yeah.
At what point in your musical career did you decide to do a Beatles tribute band? Did you have other bands first?
Yes, this band with Brian on drums and Mark, who plays John, and myself were always a band really since we left school, So we met at age 11 at school. We were only interested in like soccer and football, and then after school we put a band together, and it's always been the same. But we've had various other bands where we've written songs or played covers, but we always found the Beatles was the most fun. And maybe it took about 10 years after leaving school for us to say, let's make this into a Beatles tribute. So it was very organic, it wasn't put together or scripted or anything of that nature. And we never looked back, Well,
that's cool. So it just kind of happened naturally.
Yeah.
So obviously you have the accents correct. When you do some of the banter on stage, do you use actual lines of dialogue that the Beatles would have used, or do you kind of make it up? We make it up on the spot. Occasionally there's a nod and a wink to that, but it's not scripted. We never know if it's going to come in or out. If it fits the moment, we'll say it. You know what I mean? Rattle your jewelry or something of this nature, but never in the same spot. Never kind of scripted in there, because we want it to be a unique performance and a unique experience every time for the audience. So, because people come and see you over and over, we had people following us around America, seeing the shows. You don't want them to have the same experience every night, so we change it up. Yeah. And you've got the costume changes as well to reflect the different periods of Beatle garb and music.
That's right, yeah. We go all the way from the early days of Beatlemania through Sgt. Pepper onto kind of Abbey Road and the later years look. And last year we came on for the first spot in Sgt. Pepper outfits because we played the whole album to celebrate 50 years of Sgt. Pepper. And then we went back to the early days and went through,
And this year is actually the 50th anniversary of the White Album. So you're not playing the whole thing, correct? But you're going to play select cuts from it?
Well, yeah. Well, Sgt. Pepper's 13 songs, and the White Album is 30 songs. So, yeah, it's a lot to chew for an audience. So, yeah, we selected the songs we thought would translate best live, to a mixed audience, maybe some deep fans and then some casual fans. And we think we've done a good job. So tonight, for instance, we're going to play a really big selection from the White Album in our hit show, and we're going to do the same at Danbury. There's going to be some really good surprises from the album thrown in. to celebrate that. Next year, we are doing the whole of the Abbey Road album to celebrate 50 years of that. And that's going to be a big undertaking, and hopefully, a lot of people will come out to celebrate with us,
Oh, definitely. You're going to have to come back to Danbury for that one, too.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, both of these shows coming up now, the White Album celebration with the hits and then the Abbey Road show, I mean, they're really special. These are special shows that we probably won't repeat, so they're worth coming to see.
How many Beatles songs do you have in your repertoire? Can you pretty much just grab anything on a given night? I mean, obviously, probably, Revolution 9 doesn't happen that often. But,
well, exactly. I mean, as the years have gone by, yes, we've learned full albums. So anything off Please Please Me, anything off Hard Day's Night, maybe, the whole of Pepper now. It's most of the White Album, and selections from all of the other albums. I think there's at least 5 or 6 off each album. So, but when you look at it, they had such a big repertoire. And of course, you have to learn the singles with the Beatles, because the singles were never on the albums.
Right.
So it must be, I'd say we must have 150 in our repertoire, maybe more, that we can grab. But then we leave some for our listening pleasure, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Yes, exactly. Well, It sounds like a lot of fun. If people want to check you out, it's themerseybeatles.com. You can also get tickets right through the Palace's website at thepalacedanbury.com. Thrilled to have you back in town. The show is next Friday night at the Palace in Danbury. And Stephen Howard from the Mersey Beatles, thanks a lot for hanging with us a little bit this afternoon.
Yeah, thanks, Tim. Thanks for having us, and I hope everybody comes along and has a great time.
Splendid time is guaranteed for all.
So they tell me. Get your ticket to ride.